Hey guys, welcome back to this week's self-care Sunday. Last week I did take a break only because it was the holidays, and I'm not really a traditional holiday type of person, but I did go home to New York and I was with my family, and I like to, when I'm with my family, because they're so far away, I like to definitely take my time to be with them and kind of shut the world out. So I didn't film or anything, and I was like, I'll just film when I get back and have that video up the following week. So this is week 2 of self-care Sunday, and as you can tell by the title, this week is all about routines. And I want to be clear, once again, I am in this process with you all as well, and I'm also in therapy at the same time. So like some stuff coincides with like what I talk about with my therapist a little bit, but one of the things that I had shared with her recently was that I wanted to get back into my routine, and I was struggling with that because I felt like when I was in like my routine, like I felt good and everything, but like I feel like I was so strict to like sticking to the routine that like in the end I ended up like abandoning the routine altogether because it was just overwhelming at times, and it didn't leave room for like the days where like just any part of the day where anything could happen off my routine. And like once my routine was thrown off, I kind of got thrown off. So that was something that, you know, I told her about, and she told me like it's good to have like a skeleton of a routine, but like it's okay to not know what the day is gonna bring as well. So I just wanted to pass that information along. And let me just say this, just because I share what goes on with my therapist does not mean that is a substitute for going to therapy. You need to go to therapy, and I'm also gonna film a video about how to find the perfect therapist for you and like if traditional therapy is for you, so stay tuned for that. As far as routines, like I had a very good routine for like a good like over 6 months. Like I was going to the gym 3 times a week, I was eating better, I'm not really a terrible eater, but like I could eat a little bit better here and there. I was getting my water intake and all of that stuff. Like I was on a strict for me routine. But like I said, my therapist told me like it's okay to not know what the day is gonna bring. So now I'm trying to build like a skeleton of a routine, and that is not necessarily as strict, but I also want to allow space for like the anything could happen aspects of the day and not feel so like thrown off track. So here are some of the tips that I suggest to implement into your day. First, you need to start the day. You have to establish like what it is that you're trying to accomplish and who you want to be. So like I start my day and I say, who is the person that I want to show up as? Like who do I want to be in this world, and what does their day consist of? Like what do I need to incorporate into my life to get me there? So for me, I had to learn to give myself grace and have rest days, and having a routine is nice, and also taking care of your body is nice and everything, and you should have that in your routine. But you also have to give yourself rest days, like between working out, just day-to-day life things, taking care of your household and everything like that. You definitely have to carve out the time for yourself. And sometimes there are days where I literally just want to binge watch reality TV. Like that is what I want to do. And that's okay. And so like having those days, that's another thing that my therapist told me. She has like days where she just doesn't answer the phone, she doesn't talk to anybody, she just really is in her own day and to herself. And I was like, yeah, I think that's something that I probably should adopt into my life, and maybe you need to adopt that into your life too. Another thing that I have incorporated into my routine is I try not to be on my phone after 10 p.m. and I'm working on not being on my phone before 10 a.m. I'm working on it. But I go to bed pretty early, and anybody who knows me knows my phone goes on do not disturb at 11:15. So after 11:15 you're not going to reach me anyways, but I typically shut down my phone prior to that, because I'm not, 9 times out of 10 I'm asleep before that anyways. But yeah, and I also wake up very, very early in the morning. I get up at about 5:30 every morning, and I kind of take that time to be to myself, and I listen to music sometimes, I meditate a little bit, pray, all that, and yeah. So another thing that I wanted to speak on is the fact that when you're starting a routine, it takes 21 days for something to become a habit. And I read this in the book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective Teens. And I want to read The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, which I think they're kind of similar, but the book that I read was more so geared towards like being a teenager. So I need to read the adult version, I guess. But I know that that's in there, that it takes 21 days for something to become a habit. So if you stick to your routine for 21 days, whether that's get up every day at a certain time and carve out a certain amount of time to, you know, do your hygiene routine and all that stuff, and then after that, you know, or like it could just be like getting up every day and making your bed, like something just that simple. Getting up every day, making your bed, and opening your blinds. That's like something that I try to do every day. Allows you to be in the present moment, and that's why routines are so important, especially for someone like me. Like I tend to go off in my head a lot, so that brings me back to reality and brings me back to the present. Make my bed, open my blinds, and get my day started. I also like to drink a lot of herbal teas, so you know, I like to make my bed. When I'm in my routine for real, I typically make my bed, open my blinds, go get some tea, and then like get myself ready for the day. It's kind of hard right now because the season is very cold. I'm not really an outdoors girl, but I do like to spend a little bit of time in nature, and I would go on weekly hikes with my cousin, and we would just go out and go on a hike every week. We would take out time to just check in with each other and like see where we are mentally and all that, and just be in nature. And I think it's a great space to just literally just walk and just have some decompressing time. And I miss that, but it's so cold that I don't even think I probably could pick it back up, but it's just so cold. So I do have to incorporate a different way to get my nature time, because we typically would do that like 6 o'clock in the morning. We would go out there and go hiking. That's a little bit like of how I try to incorporate nature into my routine, my weekly routine. And also just making sure that you keep a clean environment, a clean space. I could do better about it, but I do try to make sure that I clean my room every week, wash my linen, clean my clothes weekly, and all that stuff, because my aunt told me this a long time ago: when you keep your space cluttered, it keeps your mind cluttered. So you want to keep your space clear so your mind can be clear, because especially like your room, because typically that's where you spend a lot of time for some people. And that's where you sleep, and like you want to sleep peacefully and all that, so you need to have a clean room. And normally when my room's a mess and I'm going to bed, I can't sleep with my room a mess. It just feels like I'm getting swallowed by clothes. Like I can't do it. I can't. But yeah, so I try to keep my room clean and keep my space clear. And I'm not saying like I'm just Miss OCD, like, you know, I have stuff here and there, but my main thing is clothes. I have a clothes issue. But, you know, just keeping your space clean and clear, can make a clear mind. So this is a short video, and I think this is typically like how most of my self-care Sunday videos are going to be short, sweet, and to the point. But yes, so my book recommendation for this week is definitely going to be the book that I mentioned, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, and I'm going to have it linked down below in my Amazon storefront in the books section. And I'm also going to leave you guys with a journal prompt. I hope last week's journal prompt did you all, or last self-care Sunday's journal prompt did you all well, and it was a great opener. But this week's journal prompt is going to be right here, and it reads, based on your daily routine, where do you see yourself in 5 years? So from that, you can figure out what it is that you need to change in your routine to get you where you need to go, or whether that's good or bad things. Because for me personally, I had to cut out a lot of negative things in my routine, and they were, when I say negative, I mean negative for me. Like, I used to smoke back in the day, but I definitely had to cut that out because it did more harm to me in my own life than it did good. So that was one of the things that I cut out in my routine a couple years ago. And some things, like, I want to drink more water because I want clear glass skin, but just also because I need to drink more water. That's something that I want to incorporate in my routine. So definitely with that journal prompt, like I said, it's going to be right here, and take a look at your current routine and tweak it the way you need to, and hopefully everything works in your favor. And like I said, it's up to you. You got to wake up every day and figure out who it is that you want to be and go from there and make choices that align with that. I love you all, and I wish you guys the best in your healing journey, and I'll see you in next week's Self-Care Sunday. Bye.